Good Sunday morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today?
Great.
Oh,
Good to go.
there's 6 teams left in the NFL. 6 teams standing. We're going to get that in a minute. But for now, a word from our sponsor, Charlie.
What is going on, guys? It's your man Charlie right here from Single Tree Barbecue. Did you know we are on a mission to build community through undeniable hospitality and the perfect plate of barbecue? Y'all come check us out, 2805 Old Fort Parkway, right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, Tuesday through Saturday from 11 to 8, Sundays from 11 to 4. Give us a call at 615-307-0120. You can check us out on all the social platforms at Single Tree BBQ. We look forward to seeing you. Thank you. Appreciate all the support.
All right, Charlie. Thank you.
Charlie.
So we got a lot to talk about today. I guess we're going to start with the University of Michigan. But before we get there, I just want to thank all of our Patreon members. If you're interested in helping us out, go ahead, and the links are down below in the description. Everything you need, all the information you need to help us out, go ahead, it's down there. What we do is we sit and we talk sports, and we try to generate money to send veterans, first responders, and Gold Star families to sporting events. We've had a freaking seriously successful, I can't even talk right now, 2023. Every Detroit home game, we sent a couple veterans to the game. We had some guys at the Chicago Cubs home opener. It was a great first year. Look for a lot more of that. I believe our 100th episode is right around the corner. We're probably going to do some giveaways for our 100th episode. What else do we got? Before we get in the NFL, what do we got for the University of Michigan? Oh, first of all, sorry for missing last week. We had a death in the family. My wife's sister passed away. She lost her battle with ALS, horrible disease. John and his family, they had a recent loss of the same disease. It's a disgusting disease that it basically eats away your whole body, but your brain stays intact. So while you're sitting there immobile, your brain is 100% perfect, which makes it 100 times worse. So
sorry for your loss.
Yes,
sorry, Fleekster.
Yep. So we had to take a trip to Michigan, which, believe it or not, Michigan weather was warmer than what it was in Middle Tennessee. So,
and it was cold here, so that's wild.
Yeah, it's been brutal here in Tennessee. I got home to there's still snow on the ground, but in like 2 days it's gonna be in the mid 60s again. So imagine that. All right, so before we get to the NFL, the Michigan Wolverines did it. You know, I've been dogging the Wolverines all year. I didn't think they would have a snowball chance in hell.
You got that on Express, man.
There you go, Jason.
Next day shipping. You ordered that before the game?
No, it wasn't supposed to be here for like another week and a half, but it came in yesterday. So I was like,
it's a nice surprise.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, man, you're having a big year.
And the entire University of Michigan. But I was reading, like, I just got to throw this dig in. Jim Harbaugh, he, obviously Michigan wants to keep Harbaugh, but Harbaugh wants a immunity written into his contract where he can't be fired when this investigation's over with. And right there, to me, that admits it's an admission of guilt. Man, you did something if you're worried about getting fired. So we'll see where that goes.
But on the other, if you put the shoe on the other foot and he didn't do anything, I would also be like, hey, like, you guys have already messed up once. I don't want you guys to mess up and actually fire me. So
yeah, I doubt that. He did something dirty.
I want him to get fired. I want him to end up in Los Angeles. So, but I don't think he cheated.
I think Michigan would be very irresponsible to sign a contract that states that. Because that means if he is guilty, that they're willing to accept that the investigation revealed that he did some things that were shady, and that's going to reflect on the character and good standing of the university. Not a good idea.
I think if they do it, there has to be some kind of clause. Like, you can't just straight up be like completely immune. Like,
right, exactly, Jason.
Well, they were talking about giving him a lifetime contract anyways, and isn't that lifetime contract basically saying you can't get fired? that Harbaugh will quit when he's ready.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
So that was in talks way before this even came about, the sign stealing and other allegations. So
I think now it's about recruiting. I think the sign stealing is over. I think they have completely.
Oh, are they back on the hamburgers and
There was something else that happened. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, something weird came up with COVID recruitment again.
So
I think.
here's the thing: every single school in the NCAA cheats,
except for NC State.
They all cheat in some way. Form,
I heard that, John.
Yeah, they all cheat. So whatever. But whatever. Congratulations to the University of Michigan.
Yeah, champs. It's a big.
It was it was.
Yep,
it was
congratulations.
It's
a lot of fun over here. That's for sure.
What that ring's gonna look like.
I mean, we can sit here and say,
Yeah.
well, this team got in. You had to play by the rules. So I'm tired of hearing all that bullshit, man. Just they beat who they needed to beat.
Mhm.
They did it. They're the champs. So get over it.
And
It looked good doing it too.
So we'll see.
they look like they upped the SEC this year. So
Yeah, they look
now
better.
there's the argument: SEC football better than Northern, football, blah blah blah, and all that jazz. But they just beat an SEC team for a championship.
Yeah.
And
Don't get me wrong. I definitely still think the SEC is more dominant, but
Yeah.
especially as a
overall,
conference
sure,
in a whole.
but they were better than the SEC this year.
Yeah.
that win against
For sure,
Alabama
for
was very impressive.
It
Very.
was.
Morning, Johnny, out there.
Yeah.
And the way they handled Penix was unbelievable too. I mean, that dude is amazing, and they shut Penix down.
That hurt his draft stock, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
maybe a
not
little
sure.
bit. But
Good Michigan defense. So
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Who would draft? I think number 7. What's his name? That dude was on fire.
oh, dude, he's
Odunze?
Edward, he scored.
you
I think
talking
he
about
scored the
for
first.
Michigan?
For
Yeah,
Michigan, he
two
scored the
touchdowns.
first 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, Donovan
very
Edwards.
impressive runs.
But I think I read that he foregone his draft. He's going to stay in
He's
Michigan.
staying.
I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
he's staying.
Why?
Well, he was
Apparently
behind
national champs, man.
He was behind Corum. I think he wants a shot at being the full-time running
Yeah,
back.
I think he wants to start full time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't McCarthy coming back too, or
No,
he
he
declared
declared.
already.
oh, did he declare? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's had a hell of a week. National champion, declared for the draft, and got engaged all in the same 3 days.
Man,
What a dumbass. You gotta get out there and enjoy that money first before you do stupid shit like that.
Yikes.
All right, man. So let's get on to the NFL, man. We have 6 teams standing. So today's going to be a big game. I noticed that I have the odds up on my TV right now, and the Lions started off with a 6.5 point favorite. They're down to 6 points, so all the money must be going over on the Lions in Vegas. So they had to adjust it a little bit. And then we have the Bills 2.5 point favorites over the Chiefs. That's going to be a really good game. They're both going to be great games. I'm super stoked. And, the big story of the week is Detroit. Did they finally get that monkey off their back?
Yes.
After 32 years.
Yes.
I love the players' attitude. And, Goff and Hutchinson, they're all saying that this 32 years is not on us, man. We've only been here for a year or two. And so today is on us. The last 32 years, man, get that shit out of here. This has no bearing on us. And, man, these guys are out there balling out, man. And I hope they can beat Tampa, because from what I saw from the 49ers yesterday, the Niners are definitely beatable. The Ravens are beatable after I saw what the Texans put on them yesterday.
But I wonder, Fleek, does that have to do with the bye week, and then also the Niners and Ravens sat their players for Week 18? So these two teams essentially haven't played in 2 weeks, whereas Houston needed to win Week 18 to get into the playoffs, and along with Green Bay needed to do the same. So they've essentially had 2 playoff games in 2 weeks, and the Niners and Ravens haven't played at all.
Yeah, so the Ravens started off slow. The first half looked like the Texans could hang with them, but then obviously, the Texans are just not they're not there yet. I don't even believe that they should even have been in that game, but hey, they made it. So there's no denying that. But the Texans just weren't ready for a team like the Ravens. And from week one, it looked like the Ravens are the team to beat all year long. So
I mean, they looked pretty good. They dominated the second half.
Yeah, for sure. But the first, I was talking about the first half. Definitely the second half. They got back in the rhythm, and
I feel like that's just their style of play, though. They're just they
wear you down,
get loose, they get warmed up, and then they just keep. It's like a snowball, and then you can't stop it.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any doubt who's going to win the MVP this year, man. Lamar Jackson just looks amazing.
Oh, he's an animal, absolute animal.
Yeah, and it's just the dual threat is he takes it to the next level because he is not only a dual threat, but he is a severely elusive runner and a very accurate downfield passer.
Yeah,
which he hasn't had before. He finally found it.
He's
finally found it, and he's
put it together.
He's the most dangerous quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion.
I feel like he's the full package. Like he has everything you could ask for in an athlete and a quarterback.
Yep. Yeah, he finally found that arm accuracy. Yep. And he has composure now too. They were tied coming into the second half, and old Lamar, you have a couple bad plays coming out of that third half, and he's throwing his helmet on the sideline, pouting.
Right.
You can get in his head, and that didn't happen this time. So I think he's matured a lot the past few years too, which makes him even more dangerous.
But then again, I want to go back to the Texans not being that strong of an opponent. Like if they're playing somebody a little bit stronger, does he snap again?
Maybe. They're good, but the playoffs are tough. That's where you see experience show in the playoffs. That's why Baker Mayfield's doing something. That's
Yeah, for sure.
You even saw it with Brock Purdy last night. He did not look. He was off. Some of his throws are just a lot of his throws are way off.
Yeah, it was pretty wet out there too.
Yeah, he had to wear.
It was raining like hell.
Cold, but
he took the glove off after the first couple possessions.
Yeah, which we were yelling at.
He used to wear that glove in college, though, is what they said on TV last night at Iowa or wherever he played.
Yeah,
that's what they said. Good morning, Scott, out there.
Yeah.
I got some. Can I talk about the quarterback situation in the playoffs?
Go for it there, pal.
All right. So I think it's noteworthy to mention this. The quarterbacks in the playoffs right now, and we're talking in regarding to the draft pick selection. You got Flacco, who was in the first round. You got Josh Allen, who was in the first round. You got Mahomes, who was in the first round. You got Goff as a first pick, Baker as a first pick, and Lamar Jackson as a first pick. But when you look at Brock Purdy was a 262nd pick overall, last in the draft when he got picked. All right. He's the last pick in the draft. So I would say this, there's an argument to be made that, well, Brock Purdy is he's a manager out there. He manages the game because he's got so many weapons. Well, if you look at these other quarterbacks, they've got weapons around them as well. So the argument that Purdy's got a lot of weapons, I understand that. They got, Zebo and Little and CMC and all them guys. But so do these other quarterbacks. I mean, they got a lot of talent around them as well. So I don't like the term game manager when you talk about him. But I just wanted to bring that up. That's pretty noteworthy. Everybody else, first rounders, and Purdy was the last pick. And so a diamond in the rough with Purdy.
I mean, he's the ultimate lottery pick, right? Like the 49ers hit the lottery with that pick.
Yeah. Yeah. He lost Debo last night, and he still did good.
Right. And they were all in on Trey Lance, right? Traded the farm for Trey Lance.
Yes,
and
sir.
Then look at what happened. They hit and I wonder what the Trey Lance saga would have been if they hadn't drafted Purdy.
Yeah. I mean, it's like Tom Brady, Eric. He got drafted, the 7th round, and look at what happened with him. The GOAT,
Yeah.
Anyways.
Dude's an animal. Don't be talking about Tom Brady when Scott Blanchard's watching. He's going to go off, and I'm going to lose my mind.
Yeah, it's all good. Everybody's got these people out there, including myself. We all got opinions when it comes to sports. Nobody's right or wrong. Rich hates Brady. Okay, all right. I think he hates LeBron James too. But what the heck?
Oh, please don't.
Yeah, don't even mention that. We don't have time for that today.
Yeah, that rabbit hole doesn't need to exist today.
Yes. So I see everybody's wearing a grit hat today. Well, a couple of us. And I have a clip of the coach MCDC talking about grit and how this came about.
I got your colors.
Bite your kneecaps thing when you were introduced. You got a lot of national play and laughs for that. But seriously, it's something you've tried to institute here. And I'm wondering if that was a tough sell at first.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, I don't. No, because if it was, I didn't notice it, and I wasn't going to listen to it anyway. It's what we were doing here, and the players that are here are for that reason. The players that have been able to stick, it's what we're about, and it's what we'll always be about, above everything else. If you don't have that, and you don't have intestinal fortitude or mental toughness, resiliency about you, then you're not going to be able to play here. That's the bottom line. So, but no, our guys believe that. The coaches believe it. The whole organization believes it's the bedrock of what we're.
Yeah. Get it,
I mean,
son.
how can you not love this dude?
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
I agree.
He's basically telling you, man, you be tough or go play somewhere else. Which is a nice little segue to this Kirby hit on Higbee. So I have a clip of this now, and we're going to break this down, whether this was a dirty play or not. Okay, we're going to lean on you, John, because you're the outsider. You don't have no skin in this game. No, we're all going to be on Kirby's side. You know what I'm saying?
Tough watching film in the mornings to be on the same page. Led to a big year for them. Stafford flings it in the middle of the field. Huge hit. Incomplete. Tyler Higbee was down.
I honestly, I've seen
Kirby Joseph.
Higbee
was coming across the middle. Got him. And the athletic training staff out to look at him.
Yeah, it's dirty.
That's what we always talk about receivers, right? About
that looked brutal.
I don't know.
Receivers over the
He
middle.
lifted his shoulder.
He's got a history for this too, does he
It's
not?
awful in so many ways.
He did it to Hawkinson in the week 18 or whatever.
I think it's clean.
You can see him look down at the ground though. It's not like he's like looking for his.
I mean, I
knee
understand he's
necessarily.
going low, but that's the problem. There's no reason for him to go that low. And then it's right at his knee.
Yeah, but you
So
can see him,
we
like,
talked about this before we hit the
like
record
2 feet
button,
forward.
and the consensus was like Kirby's like a third of the size of Higbee, right? And so what do you do when you're trying to tackle a big guy? You go low. You're not going to tackle this dude
I'm
at the
totally for
shoulders.
that. But you don't shoot at his knee.
I mean, he's
He
going
had plenty
so
of time.
fast,
He had
though.
plenty of time. He had plenty of time. That's the thing, is it wasn't a split. He had plenty of time. He could have hit him in the waist. He could have tried to wrap him up around the ankles. I get it. It's a high intensity game. I'm not going to fine him, but
You have split second.
it's going to go on your
decisions.
record as a.
So
coach.
speaking of that, I just want to mention that Kirby did get fined for a hit, but not that hit. The NFL deemed that was a clean hit. This is coming from the NFL. He was fined like $5,000 for a different hit, not this hit.
Was that the week 18 hit?
I believe so. I'd have to go back and circle around and.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
And it being a tight end, I think does make a difference. I think it definitely.
I think it was
If it was a
unfortunate
wide
timing,
receiver
too.
and he did that, I'd definitely be like, okay.
The way he planted his leg and then got hit, I think that was just
Yeah, it's
a
bad
little
timing.
unfortunate.
If his
exactly.
leg had been coming up when he did that, he would have flipped over his back and fallen to the ground, and nothing would have been said of him.
So if he didn't get hurt, would it have been a clean hit?
I think that makes the big difference too. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
I don't.
That's a valid point.
It's tough.
And I also want to bring up that Higbee, it looks like he's going to even miss the beginning of next year. So he did tear an ACL. So he did get hit pretty.
But you also can't play the game being afraid of hurting people or getting hurt, because that's how you really get hurt.
That's
and
how
if you
you
can't,
get hurt.
you can't. If you're aiming high, it's bad. If you're aiming low, it's bad. Eventually you have to. It's not a strike zone.
Right.
Well, he did bleed on his shoulder.
These guys are going so fast too. I don't know that he had, not to defend Kirby or not, but I don't know, like, how many split seconds do you have to adjust your body when you're going, we'll say 15 plus miles an hour, launching yourself at somebody? I don't know. I don't think it was I think it was just a play in the game. But that's my opinion.
It's a tough pill to swallow, but
yeah,
I think his
it's
the aim right at the knee is what gets me. That's where I just.
It's like Ditka said, it's a collision sport.
Yeah, and Stafford come out and called out Kirby on this, but of course your quarterback's gonna stand up for your guys.
Yeah, for sure.
I would expect nothing less on that. Like Goff would have said the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Teammate.
Yeah, so you have to stick up for your guys, but
I would have too, for sure. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think he should miss any time, or I don't even think he should get fined or anything for that.
I don't think so either, because if you start doing that, what are you going to do? Just start playing
then you got
football,
the high and the
like
low.
two-hand touch? Like, come on, man.
Flag football.
Well, a lesson
can't hit him in the head,
Yeah.
can't hit him in the freaking legs. Like
like Paulie said, I just think a coach is going to note that. All right, I know.
I think
try to protect my guys.
Lesson learned yesterday with the Green Bay game, as Fleek, his famous words are, "Don't leave points on the table." And Green Bay had gone for a 4th and 1 with Love, 6'5", trying to get low and down on a 1-yard push, and he got smacked in the jaw by the linebacker coming up. And then they didn't get they gave the ball over San Francisco and they left points on the board. And so Fleek, he said that yesterday, and I said that's a brilliant point, because if you're you got to, I don't know what analytics will say and all this other jazz, but if you got a chance to get some points on the board, you take it.
Listen, it's a win or go home game. And what happened? The Packers lost by 3.
Yep.
That was a huge
and they missed a field goal.
And it was, not to mention, it was in the second quarter. What are you doing in the second quarter? I can see if you're down, it's late in the game. Yes, absolutely, go for it. But in the second quarter,
yeah,
come on.
I think a lot of these coaches nowadays have it's 1 yard mindset. Like when you're playing Madden, just like it's 1 yard. I can get 1 yard. Why am I going to sacrifice this whole drive for 1 yard? I get it. It's got its risks.
Yeah.
I think the stats are a little inflated from the Eagles this year too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and everybody wants to emulate that. Yeah. They think they can. So yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the 49ers D line is elite. Like, what do you?
Well, you guys do it a lot too.
7 is elite.
The Lions go for it in crazy situations a lot too.
So. Yeah, and that drives me nuts too. I hate that.
And you see us in the text messages all the time blowing up Dan Campbell for doing that.
It cost the Lions 2 games this year.
Right.
The Lions could have a number 1 seed right now if it wasn't for boneheaded mistakes. Yeah, so Scott is saying that kicker has missed 13 field goals and PATs this year.
Yeah,
he's a rookie though, right?
Yes, but it was inside.
But you know what, Scott? Yeah, it's a second quarter. I mean, really, you're going to go 4th and 1. You're going to show you're going to believe in your team as the coach and go, let's go, we could do it. And you're giving up 3 points in the second quarter. That's asinine. I'll be honest.
And they're only down 7-3.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I don't care about how many field goals a kicker missed or not.
How far of a field goal was it going to be?
It was on the 14-yard line, so I could have made that one.
It was a chip shot.
Yeah, but he missed like a 30 or 40-yard field goal later that game. So
yeah, I disagree with that call in the second quarter.
I don't know. Would he have missed that one too?
Well, and
we will never know.
LaFleur said something after the game about how he prays every time he goes out there, right?
Yeah.
They get a new kicker.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Eric can do it.
Dude, all the way up until yesterday.
He's already got the helmet. You don't even have to get him a helmet.
But all the way up until yesterday, the Detroit Lions are making moves. They're moving people back and forth. Like, there's not another kicker on your practice squad you could put in there? Like, this is your season.
Somebody. Chad Ochocinco kicked a field goal one time.
Ndamukong Suh freaking tried to kick a field goal for Detroit one year. Get somebody in there.
I would have loved to have seen that. Suh kicking a field goal.
It was pretty funny.
Somebody's got to be able to kick it. I mean, you play so much football and you get on a practice field for all these years. There's times where you just have nothing to do and they start just like you got to know how to kick it.
Gotcha, Scott.
I'm sure
Blanchard
there's
out
somebody
there.
on that team that played soccer at one point in their life, and they
Right.
got a leg on
Somebody.
them. You know,
Somebody can kick.
Donovan
freaking
Sue
20.
kicked the field goal.
Yeah, back in the day when he was with Detroit.
That's funny.
those were, yeah.
That's a big dude kicking a field goal.
Yeah.
He made it though. He made
Did
it.
he? Did he make it? Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
That weather last night in San Francisco was kind of brutal, man. Cold and raining. Hell with that.
We know
seen
how
some
that
tough
goes out
weather
there,
all the way
folks.
through the playoffs.
But the Buffalo games have been ridiculous, man.
Did you see that they were paying the fans $20 an hour to shovel the snow?
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
free food.
They were lined up out the
Yeah,
stadium.
they had to,
with shovels.
I would have been
yesterday
there.
they had to
Dude.
turn
Me too.
people away. There were so many. They were
Yes.
turning people away.
Brilliant move. I love it.
Yeah, that's probably the only reason they had the game.
I love it.
Yeah. So also before we go off, General Motors changed their logo on top of the Rensen, which is their big building in Detroit, probably the biggest building in Detroit. They added a tail on the end of the GM logo. So for General Motors to do that is huge because Ford Motor Company, that GM is Ford Motor Company's biggest competitor, and the people that the Ford family owns the Detroit Lions. So I thought that was super cool.
Sounds
That
like
is cool.
everybody's all in.
Dude, I tell you what, man, Detroit is going nutso right now. And if they win today, holy hell.
Yeah, my boys are at that game today. They got the Section 200 seating, so
Yeah.
that's going to be fun for them.
So I was totally going to go to the game. Obviously, I had tickets, but I had just gotten back from Detroit on Wednesday from the funeral, and I have to go back Friday for work. So there was no way in hell I'm doing 3 trips to Detroit back and forth in a matter of
You
10
need to
days. That
just
is
buy yourself a
ridiculous.
plane or a helicopter.
Yeah.
So,
DJ.
We need donations. But you got to fly. Got to travel.
So I was really hoping that the Packers were going to pull this out so I could still make it to a playoff game, but that didn't happen. But yet, of course, I don't want to jinx the game today. Obviously, the Lions still have to take care of business, which they should. But Baker Mayfield's out there slinging dimes, and we all know our Achilles heel right now is our secondary. So Golf could just go out there and pick them apart. It could be a shootout. The last person has the ball wins the game. Golf has to play a perfect game, obviously.
That defense is no joke, too.
Yeah, their defense. So we will see what happens. But I'm praying for a big Detroit win today. This is unprecedented if you're a Detroit Lions fan. It's pretty awesome, man, because I say this every year. Week 3 is a must-win game just to stay in the hunt. And here we are playing for our divisional lives here, man. This is a great year to be a Detroit Lion fan, obviously.
Well, I hate to see the future because of the Packers and Love. They got a really solid team, and I just can't deal with after Favre, Rodgers, and now Love.
Yeah.
Here we go again. Oh, man, I'm telling you. They're solid. The Packers are a solid team. I mean, I don't like them, obviously, just out of in a fun way. I don't like them as a fan.
I believe they're the youngest team in the league right now.
They don't have anybody over 30 or what? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I mean,
That's
it's
crazy.
amazing. And it's amazing to me how Green Bay goes from Favre to Rodgers to now Love. I don't understand it, but, good for them up north there. I mean, but, as a Bears fan, here we go.
All right. So I almost hit the end button without talking about this. The Dallas freaking Cowboys.
Yeah.
McCarthy said after post-game interview, we got a championship program. You do? Are you kidding me? How asinine is that? You don't have a championship program. You got rolled.
You got rolled by these kids of Green Bay.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
So what does Jerry Jones do the next day? He extends McCarthy and Dak. Like, what are you doing? You're never going to win a playoff game. That makes 0 sense to me.
They need to get Jerry Jones out of the way, and then they might win one.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, that's a little bit tougher.
Exactly. Yeah, it ain't going to happen.
Holy hell.
Well, I'd be happy it's not your organization.
Well, I got the same problem. I got the McCaskies in Chicago. Terrible.
The Dallas Cowboys are the laughing stock of the league right now. The laughing stock.
For sure.
Well, it's like
man.
It's like I always say, you'll never win a big game with Dak, ever.
And then what does Dak come out the next day? And he says, you don't want to see us next year. You're damn right, Dak. We don't want to see you next year. Bye.
Yeah.
How many years have we heard that in a row?
The Cowboys do too much of this.
Actually, I do want to see them. I do want to see them. It's an easy win.
I mean, they were like the pinpoint stereotypical Cowboys this year, like to the definition.
Yeah.
And then you have no room to say anything.
No, shut the hell up. Go clean out your locker. Come back next year and talk shit. Shut the hell up.
I agree, Scott. That was not a 16-point game.
No, they got freaking rolled. The only reason it was a 16-point game is because in the fourth quarter, Green Bay pulled everybody because they didn't want to get anybody hurt.
Yep.
Like they didn't play against anybody.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, garbage. A lot of garbage points.
Well, a lot of talking they do. The Cowboys do all the talking every year, and that's what creates their own. They create their own demise when they fail in the playoffs. They just shut up and played football, but they get this I'm America's team and all this other jazz. And then when you say something to counter that as a fan, you're automatically a hater.
You're a hater.
Get that out of here. I like the Cowboys. I'm not a hater. I'm making a football comment about your team that's doing knucklehead stuff. That's it. That doesn't mean I'm a hater.
You lived in the dang neighborhood for what? Almost 30 years.
Almost 30 years. Yeah. So if I make a football comment about the Cowboys, that doesn't mean I'm a hater. You guys are freaking delusional, you fans down there. Knock it off. And players, shut your mouth and play the game. And maybe you'll win a playoff game.
Well, we know Dak will become a great broadcaster one day.
Yep.
Oh God.
That's what comes with that Cowboys quarterback job.
Yeah, like Romo. You're right, John.
Can't stand Tony Romo being an announcer. I'm gonna be honest.
Troy Aikman does it too.
Yep.
I like Troy Aikman as an announcer.
Aikman's better.
Jimmy Johnson.
I like Aikman too.
Jimmy Johnson went off on the team.
He'll be a great announcer one day.
Oh, you should have played that video, Fleek. Yeah.
I
my God. I thought he was going to have a stroke. It's like, Jimmy, you're not coaching no more. You're on a show. Relax. But I mean, that speech he made was like, I would have went out there and played at that moment. I mean,
yeah, it's pretty awesome. All right, we got to wrap this up. Does anybody have anything to say?
Go Lions.
Yeah, go Lions, guys.
Big game today. I have to run out to work real quick and make it back before noon, hopefully. So I got to cut this off. And yes, I have a brisket going. I'm ready for the game, man. Let's go, Detroit. Let's do this. Big time. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in and watching us. Thanks for your support. We will see you next Sunday for the NFC AFC Championship weekend.
I think that's episode 98 next Sunday.
Is it, John? Okay.
I think so.
When we get to 100, we're going to do a big giveaway. I just don't know what. I don't even know how to get this out there, but obviously you're probably going to have to be a subscriber to our YouTube channel because I'm going to try to build that up. If you're a subscriber to the YouTube channel,
Facebook,
you will definitely have a chance to win something very, very cool. All right. See you guys next Sunday. Thanks a lot for everybody. Peace out. Go Lions.
Go Lions. Go.